Well, around the world, a wave of dissatisfaction has been sweeping away incumbent governments. Rejections at the ballot box have led to administrations losing power in major democracies, signaling frustration within the electorate in the post-COVID-19 era. With Jamaica on the brink of a general election, questions are being raised about the Holness administration and whether it may be the latest victim of the turning tide. Ramon Gordon has the expert insights.
Diplomatic ties between the Biden administration and Jamaica are winding down, marked Thursday by a farewell call from Vice President Kamala Harris. Harris, of Jamaican heritage, lost the 2024 election to indicted former U.S. President Donald Trump in the Democrats' worst defeat since 1988. Across the Atlantic, the UK saw a sweeping Labour Party victory in July, while in Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced his resignation just this month. In the Caribbean, elections loom. At home, the Jamaica Labour Party faces an uphill battle for a historic third term, with 36% of respondents in a Don Anderson poll favouring the PNP's Mark Golding over Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who garnered 32.5%, as voter turnout is projected to exceed 50%.
I believe that the general voting public is a little bit more turned on and tuned to voting this time. People are concerned about things like what's happening to their own families, meeting their daily household expenditure. But again, we don't know when the elections are going to be held. We can't say from at this point in time what impact that current position would have on voter sentiment.
That's pollster Don Anderson, who says while it's too early to be making predictions, the PNP has made significant gains over the past few years.
After the GLP won the election in 2016, we did about 8 or 9 national polls. And in those 8 or 9 national polls, I want it to be known very, very loud and clear that in those 9 national polls that we did, the People's National Party was nowhere even in the race. But between beginning of 23 and during 24, we found a narrowing of that gap so that in about 3 polls that we did during 2024, the People's National Party were again in the race.
Political commentator Lloyd B. Smith is theorizing that the government's declining popularity may be linked to a trust deficit in Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
One suspects that it has to do with the continuing kerfuffle between himself and the Integrity Commission.
According to Smith, the Prime Minister's court case against the Integrity Commission has dealt a mortal blow to his political persona, which the government will likely try to amend in the weeks ahead.
Part of the problem with the JLP is that there has been too much dependence on the Brogard factor. The fact that the sheen no longer is on the clerks, it may well mean that the JLP could be in a lot of trouble.
Have always maintained very firmly and very strongly and repeatedly that elections are won on election day. These are things that help to form a pattern. And if that pattern, if the trend continues, then surely it would pose some challenges.
The next general election is constitutionally due in September. Ramon Gordon for CVM News.